the people who will be graduating, and they're going to be looking at corporate communications jobs and PR jobs and marketing jobs.
Yeah.
They're so excited. And we mentioned LinkedIn, of course, so important. Even if you're still in college,
Absolutely.
get on LinkedIn because you're going to be interviewing for jobs. But what else would you advise them in terms of social media?
I would say start to clean up some of your social channels.
Yes.
I do. When somebody interviews, I look up to see what they're doing socially.
You do. You just Google them.
I do Google them because
Yes.
I want to know what's going on.
Right.
What I want to know is, here's what I'm going to do for you. Here's what I've done. This is why I'm really excited about the opportunity, and here's the things I think I can do. You have to be very confident because, yes, I understand that you're an undergrad. Yes, I understand that you may not have the level of experience, but you're graduating with millions of other kids. What makes you different? And you really have to focus on your unique selling point. So, when I had a junior role on my team, I didn't go with the person with the most experience. I went with somebody who was enthusiastic, but also could show results.
I see.
And that you have the ability to work on your own, but it would work within a group. Because if I have to do your work, that's a problem. Because you probably won't stay long.
That's right.
So you need to be able to show that, yep, I can lead, and I can work in a group, and I can work collaboratively on a goal and achieve that goal. I think a lot of times students focus on, I have an A, I have a 4.5, and I was a beta kappa, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, that's noise. Tell me, what'd you do? What projects did you work on? And what were the results of this project? And it's okay to share failures, and I think that's really okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yes.
Because you should learn from every failure. Mm-hmm. Am I successful 100% of the time? Absolutely not. So, but the key is I think about what could I have done better and what can I do to improve. And I've had a couple students who have applied for positions for more junior level come back and ask me, why didn't you bring me in for an interview? And I love kids like that because you know what? I will actually take the time to say, okay, so here's what you did in your resume that I would not recommend doing the next time.
Right.
The next time you follow up, make sure that you do X, Y, Z. Not every professional does that, but the fact is if I have someone who asks for the feedback, I'm willing to provide the feedback. And I think you have to be confident to ask for those questions. Because just because this first job didn't work out doesn't mean it's not going to work out for you. You should never go into public relations. I think you need to be confident and say, I see that you've hired someone else. If you wouldn't mind, take the time to please explain, why I was not a good fit so that I can improve for the next. I think every professional would take the common courtesy to say, you know what? I think you totally bombed on the interview. Don't come late. Wear things that are professional. This is not the nightclub. So think about your personal brand and what you're pushing out to the market.
Yes.
And the next time, I would do this. I've had a few applicants who have actually asked me why they have not.
And what's their reaction? I mean, is it usually what you would expect? They seem grateful for that feedback?
I think some are grateful, some take it personally. And you have to put on, as I like to say, you got to put on your big girl pants and deal. So if you're not willing to take criticism, don't ask for it.
That's right. Yeah.
And I always tell students, don't ask your mom and dad because they love you, and they're not going to give you the honest answer. Ask, your teacher, your professor. Ask somebody to walk you through, like, here's what I'm thinking about doing on an interview.
Right.
So that you can get somebody like, and even I've had students, I mentor at some universities, they're like, I think I'm still going to do it. I'm like, okay. Good luck. Hope it works out. And they're like, oh, I didn't get called back. I'm like, no. Well, let's talk about why that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Because I think you have to ask why.
Yes.
And sometimes it's just a matter you just weren't a fit. But it can also be what you're doing in your behavior and how you interview and how you're preparing. What does your resume look like? I had a particular prospect who put a QR code because he thought that was jazzy. Yay! And I said, here's the thing. I think that's cool. However, I don't want to go chasing for things. So you may, instead of putting a QR code and making that the focus of your resume, you should focus on the projects that you worked on and what the success of those social media projects were.
Right.
That's way more interesting to me.
Yeah. That's terrific advice, and I know that's going to help a lot of would-be communicators out there. So thank you for sharing that.
No, thank you. Thank you for asking.